Hello, lovely humans of Earth. Once again, XFM Friday. Time has gone by way too freaking fast. Dude, we're in June. Also, the other day I saw a video saying that June 2nd, I didn't stop to think about it, but I guess it makes sense. June 2nd is past the halfway point, so now we are closer to 2050 than we are to 2000. Ouch, man. So, yeah. Time has been going way too fast, but, you know, it means it's another XFM. Also, I just want to quickly say I think this is a penultimate. I hate that word because I almost never get it right. But episode to the last one of Series 2 and then Series 3. Obviously going to do Series 3. But I just want to inform you guys, I'm going to take a couple weeks of a break. You know how when we were kids, or even now, it depends on the show, but when we were kids, it was, you know, you have to wait like a whole year for the next season to come out, and you'd have to watch them and catch them on TV just at the right time and blah, blah, blah. Now it's not so much like that anymore if it's an older show. But dude, Stranger Things, like that's the example that they took like a decade. The kids are like, they're all grandparents by now. They're all married and had kids, and their kids had kids, and it's ridiculous. And Millie Bobby Brown has her own farm, and like it's ridiculous how long that took. So I'm not gonna go that far, but there will be a mini little hiatus of a couple weeks. Also, because these are really long and kind of taxing, and, you know, I believe Rusty could use a little break as well. Gonna get other videos done. I'm not gonna disappear for a couple weeks. I'm gonna get other stuff done. You know, stuff I haven't been able to do because these take so long, and just it's my schedule is a mess. And then we'll come back to it. Okay, so for a couple weeks, this will not be around. I will be around, and then we'll get back to it. Yeah, sound good? Thank you. It's non-optional, by the way. I'm not asking. I'm informing. Anyway, Rusty Dog makes these as always. Beautiful work. Amazing stuff. Series 2, episode 50, August 9th of 2003. I can't remember 2003. Not because, like, I was, you know, on a cocaine tour like freaking musicians. How old was I in 2000? I don't know. What was that, 22 years ago? Let me math it up. Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, let's go. I think I've rambled enough.
Elbow. Right? Fallen Angel on XFM 104.9.
Don't get me started on the freaking Droopy. Yeah, his name was Droopy. And when I was saying it last week, I was thinking, like, isn't his name Droopy? Like, there was something in me that was going, but wait, that sounds almost right, but is it wrong? And I don't know why my brain didn't connect. Oh, wait, his name is Droopy. That's not a cartoon I would watch. I wasn't super mega familiar with it. But, oh my God, dude, the amount of comments saying, quite the Carl moment. But, yeah. Also, I don't know what's up with the chocolate, but yay, chocolate. Chocolate's like the best thing on earth. So, but dude, that Droopy thing pissed me off because I was like, God damn it. I was saying it over and over again, and it just didn't. I don't compute sometimes.
Well, we're back. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
Mandy.
Carl's all a little bit, I don't know, he's a bit frustrated. He's sort of a bit sweaty and fed up today, aren't you, because of the heat?
It's too much, though, isn't it?
He was taken out. He was sort of wanted to fight. You know, he doesn't usually like to fight. I sort of like lead on him and try and rub his head.
Yeah.
But today he was sort of leading it. He was sort of like getting a little bit. If I didn't know better, I'd have said it was sexual frustration.
Well, I was watching, Rick. If you don't mind me saying, I was watching, not in that way, just watching.
It was sort of like he was going, "Oh, I want to hit you," and I was thinking, does he want to hit me, or does he want to do something else to me?
Exactly.
What were your thoughts, Carl?
Exactly. I mean, I saw him sort of wrestling with you on the floor, and you clearly weren't enjoying it, but he was really.
Yeah. What was that going on? What's the change? Why are you suddenly sort of?
Well, what are you trying to say?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it was weird that you suddenly. It was like you were. Oh,
you're saying a bit, sort of a bit gay.
No,
is that what you're saying?
No, but what was?
Suzanne accused me of that in a week.
Why?
For being a bit gay. She said, I'm sure you're gay.
Why?
Just because I was moaning about stuff. She said, oh, you're a drama queen.
Right. Well, that's
what were you moaning?
The drama queen picture was already amazing, but then, wow, man. How do you even find these things? So good, dude. Oh, my God.
Just because I was moaning about stuff, she said, oh, you're a drama queen.
Right, well, that's
What were you moaning about? Not having enough gay sex?
no. That she didn't have a
What
knob.
is it moaning about gay
Right,
sex?
well, that's
What were you moaning about? Not having enough gay sex?
no. That she didn't have a knob.
Yeah.
It's going on, why don't you get yourself a nice little knob?
Yeah.
I mean, can I call you Frank, please?
Could you wear this false beard?
Yeah.
It's just, well, we'll talk about it later. It was about the Seven Wonders. I just wasn't that impressed.
He wasn't impressed, right? He said, well, we'd say that, yeah. Well, we got a top show
That's
coming up, haven't we?
But if you are a little bit kind of
Wait,
just...
does that mean he didn't... Wait, what? An Idiot Abroad? Or he just mentioned it and that's where the idea for the Seven Wonders came up? Also, I mean, I'm with Carl on this. I'm not wondered by the Seven Wonders. I don't think... I'm trying to think what the Seven Wonders are. Like the Great Wall of China, okay, that's impressive, but... It's impressive just like how long it is. And the pyramids are impressive because how giant they are. But, I mean, meh. They're still just a pile of rocks. Neatly stacked one way or another. You know what I mean? Like, they don't... I'm more impressed by other stuff, I guess. Not exactly that.
Little bit sexually. You know, don't be afraid to...
What?
Kind of just a little bit...
Top show
That's
coming up, haven't we?
But if you are a little bit, kind of just a little bit sexually, you know, don't be afraid to let it out. I mean, if you want us to relieve you of it...
I'll tell you what. Let's have a little bit of Maggie May by Rod.
Oh, it's a
Can't
beautiful
we play
day.
Killing a Georgie?
That's your favourite song, isn't it?
Oh.
That's
yeah.
weird, isn't it?
Strange, isn't it?
That's weird. I'd like to hear Rod Stewart singing about a lovely lady, please, Carl.
As would I.
Okay.
You can picture whoever you want.
Maggie May on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais,
Okay.
with Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington. Steve.
Well, I've only just read about this, and I don't know anything about it. This Naked Rambler, Steve Goff.
Yeah.
Is he doing some kind of... He's doing a walk from Land's End to John O'Groats. Is he completely nude?
What?
Yeah, he's been arrested
No,
10
he
times
has.
on the way,
I don't want to go
apparently.
back. I know that nothing's visible, but he has shoes and a hat on. That's not completely new. He's wearing socks.
Some kind of... He's doing a walk from Land's End to John O'Groats. Is he completely nude?
Yeah, he's been arrested 10 times on the way, apparently.
Right. It says here that Nora Goff, his mum, she's in her 70s, she's begged her son not to walk naked from Land's End to John O'Groats. She said, I don't know where he gets this from. Certainly not me. I am and have always been quite conservative. He would
close.
never have been allowed to walk around the house without covering himself up. I wouldn't go as far as to say I'm ashamed of him, but I do not approve of what he is doing. Having said that, it's good to see him on the telly.
yeah, it must be.
It's not about anything, it's lovely. It
It's
doesn't
not
matter.
embarrassing until they're famous with
Exactly.
it. However embarrassing
Yeah.
it is. But
I can't believe my son's a serial killer. Nice to see him on the telly.
he looks like one. He's not, obviously.
No.
You know, I mean,
What is he doing? I don't
Steve
understand.
wouldn't say he was, and he's not. He's just a rambler. But he's there, right?
What's
And
his motivation?
He's just walking to, I don't know, it's just a nudist, I suppose.
Right.
And there's a picture in there, and Carl looked at it and he went, oh, what's the point of that? He went, well, look at him. He's got shoes and socks on, he's got a rucksack on, he's got a hat on. He's not nude, he's just got his knob out. Yeah. But he's got a full beard, thinking, oh, I want to hide some skin.
Yeah.
Whereas this little chap needs the air. I'll
Yeah.
pop him out all the time I can.
Oh, they really annoy me. Because it's in the supplement today as well, with the Mirror, right? And they've done a bit about nudists and that.
Yeah.
Again. Same problems all the time.
Go on.
Sunburn?
There's like an old fella sat there, just
How do you know he's old?
well,
Why are you looking, Carl?
Yeah.
Looking at his face, aren't you, presumably?
yeah. I'm just saying he's old and he's sat there smoking a pipe,
Sure.
with his sandals on. They're quite normal, just with his knob out.
Casual Friday.
But look, they always make the same mistake. He's got a little white deck chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're nudist, don't go for white.
Why?
He's sitting on that, getting a bit clammy and stuff. White, don't go for white. Go for darker colours.
I don't know what he's talking about.
So do I, but I love it. I love the fact that he's just got loads of pictures of naked men.
Yeah.
Walking around with loads of pictures
I'm
of
just
naked
saying, a dirty arse on that.
I think we've
Shouldn't
discussed
be
the news
dirty?
before. I don't understand the impulse at all. I do find it bizarre. I mean, there's a picture there of three men nude in a pub.
Yeah. Just having a chat.
Yeah.
Just have a chat. Oh, look at Carl carrying
But
around
what's
those
the...
pictures.
I mean, okay, fair enough walking around outside, but indoors? In a pub? Nude?
Well, it must be a nudist
on a pair of
pub.
shorts.
That must be a nudist holiday, I assume, as opposed to like the local.
There is, though, isn't there? There was a thing in Bazaar magazine the other week where
Sure.
there was a picture of some people. They've got an airline of their own now.
What, nudists?
Nudes.
Nude airline?
So you can get on there. Your holiday starts as soon as you get on.
Sure.
And, but what's the point?
Well, I'd be worried just about banging against things.
Is the plane on?
So to speak.
Yeah.
Is the plane really flesh-colored? Okay, that was AI. Apparently, planes are white because it's lighter. So, that flesh-colored plane, that peach-colored plane will be heavier than a white plane. It's the tint or the ink or whatever that darkens paint makes it heavier. I think that was on QI. I don't remember where I picked that up, but apparently that's why all planes are white. Bizarre. Just bizarre.
And my shoes and things.
Or spilling the when the waitress comes along. What RSS and what she spilt hot coffee.
Yeah, that's a good point. Would she have to be
Oh,
nude?
because you're freaking, what do you fly in armor? Like hot coffee is not going to soak right through your freaking clothes? That's a stupid point. Not that I'm, like, I'm not the pro nudist plane, but I'm just saying that's a stupid point.
Does it have to be
I
nude?
don't know. But that bit as well where they walk down the aisle and they have to check if you've buckled up.
Awkward.
She's like, excuse me, miss, can you just... Yeah, and over 50s, it's always over 50s.
Oh,
Right, yeah.
So it'd be an old woman on the plane.
Yeah,
She'd be
yeah.
like, can you just lift your left tit up so I can see the belt?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God! Oh,
Imagine
dear.
if you've got to go into the crash position.
Oh God, yeah.
You know?
I don't want to.
The last thing you see is your John Thomas
John Thomas.
as you go crashing into a mountain. Terrifying. And then what if you've got to abandon ship?
I know. Well, how would they explain that?
I really think if you're in that situation, you got abandoned ship. I mean, your last worry is going to be, oh, wait, I can't. I have no clothes on. Like, I think you'll be fine.
Get onto an island.
Exactly.
All right.
Or being picked up by, a passing ship.
Yeah. Carl, you notice they also play volleyball a lot, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, you've always mentioned that, but I thought you were joking, but they love it.
Yeah.
They said that's what they do. They get to this special holiday
That
camp.
can only be either they got the idea from sort of like Carry On Camping or Benny Hill, or they actually like it jiggling around as much as possible.
Yeah.
But is that safe?
Well, I
not
assume so. You play volleyball with trousers on, don't you? I wouldn't have
Yeah,
thought.
but there's a bit of support there. I mean, I was watching athletics.
Again, why are they considering that clothes, especially like on a beach, like what, trunks, a bathing suit is going to be armor? I mean, if you're going to take a volleyball to the nads, it doesn't matter if you have like shorts on or not. That's still going to hurt. Depending who freaking sent the ball launching, I mean, maybe you're sterile for life or not. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But, I mean, they're talking about clothes like it's freaking lead.
Right, the other week.
Yeah.
Right. And I was watching it because there's a lad who I went to school with. He's like winning gold medals and everything now in the Olympics and stuff, right? So I was looking out for him.
Now, if you went to school with him, I'm assuming he's got 3 legs or something?
No, he's normal.
just a regular guy?
He used to push me on my go-kart, and so I feel like
That's cute.
You've trained
I was
him,
there
yeah,
from
at
the start,
beginning.
training up a bit.
Yeah.
And watching the programme, and there was swimming in it, and I was watching that for a bit, getting a bit annoyed, because that butterfly stroke,
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that.
No, nor do I.
It's just hard work. It doesn't make you go any faster than, let's say,
Crawl.
that stroke, the
Yeah,
crawl.
don't do that. That stroke on radio doesn't work. The crawl, yeah.
So I was watching that, thinking, that's annoying.
Yeah.
And then they got onto the running bit, and my mate's in this race.
Yeah.
Now, they do the side shot, don't they? So you can see who's in the lead.
Okay.
And then they do that front shot, where it's absolutely pointless. The only reason to do the front shot, I think, is to keep women interested. Because you can basically see his tackle going from left to right, being battered all over the place.
Okay, all right. This has to be addressed and discussed. I don't think, even out of all the women out there, like, I can only speak for myself, right? But, I mean, I think Carl has a tackle magnet in his eyes more than anybody I've ever heard of on the planet, men or women. I mean, the guy, if there is a knob somewhere in his eye line, his eyes are just gonna go zoop and laser in on it, because what the hell is this? I honestly, I don't even know what he's talking about right now. Like, I've seen swimming competitions and stuff, but what? You know, when people swim, I look at the people swimming. I don't, like, that's it? I mean, what? It's amazing how much this topic comes up with him as well. And very, like, nonchalantly. And we started the episode saying he isn't gay. So, I mean, is it just, like, genuine knob curiosity? Which is fine as well, but I think, I mean, somebody has to agree with me that it's more than, I don't want to say normal, because normal is a stupid word for this, because nobody's normal. There's too many people for normal to actually be a thing. But more than anybody else I've known or ever heard of talk about the subject. You know what I mean? Like, because this is a lot.
Why were you
All over the place.
Why were you looking?
Exactly.
Seriously, you had no choice. If you wanted to watch it, it was like, I was interested if he was going to win, but it's like, you know,
No, I
But
don't.
why did you turn over and watch Charlie's Angels instead?
because I wanted to see if he won the race.
Or flip back at the end.
Just
Oh,
flip
he
back
was
at the
looking
result
at
if you don't
his
know.
friend.
Or at least turn away or close your
Well,
eyes
well,
on
you've
the
seen it.
front shot.
No, I wasn't. I just. Suzanne
weird.
was happy. Suzanne was loving it.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Just go to the other shot. But they were showing you the front shot and running along there. They could have just shown the top half, but they didn't.
Sure.
It was there.
There's his heads moving along at 25 miles an hour. Yeah. Well, I think you're meant to see the running, the actual legs moving. It's an athletics coverage, isn't it? It's sort of like...
But they don't show you a shot from behind.
Did you want that?
Oh, no, I didn't want that either.
It sounds like you were disappointed.
Yeah. Play a record.
Please.
Bit of Radiohead.
Yeah, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Incidentally, last week, you remember, we began the show by talking about knobs.
Yeah.
I think we've got a bit more knob news this week.
Knob is coming up, is it?
Knob news is on
After
the way.
Radiohead, more cock. Radiohead and go to sleep.
Amazing how much
That's not
this
to you.
comes up.
Please don't go to sleep. We've got another hour and 35.
Also, amazing how much this comes up when it's three straight guys talking. But okay.
Minutes of fun chat and great music on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington. Pilkey, little K-Man Pilkers, little baldy twat mank whinging, a little bit bent Pilkers.
There he is.
There he is there.
Now, Rick, you may remember that last week we opened with some quality knob news.
Knob news, yeah.
It was
Oh, yeah.
Hitler's knob.
Hitler's knob was one of them. That just sparked off into a whole bunch of other
Yeah.
knob-related discussions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pleased so far to see that we're almost at the halfway mark for this first hour, and so far we've only talked about nudity and/or todgers.
Yeah.
So excellent work from us. Well done, lads.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Dr. Fox and the rest of the Sony award committee listening to this one.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
more knob news. I don't know if there's a
Go on.
jingle for that, maybe.
Oh, you nearly had me eye out. Knob news.
Knob news, excellent. This is an extraordinary story. A woman tried to sue her bosses for £210,000 after finding a cooked penis in a canteen stew. Hospital cleaner Sophie something, I can't pronounce that name, was eating goulash for lunch and could not cut one of the lumps of meat. Oh. You can see where it's going.
I've got so many questions already.
I know. She picked it
Exactly.
up and tried to chew it, but it was too tough. Then she inspected it with workmates, who all agreed it was a penis. Imagine that discussion.
Yeah.
Miss McLata said she vomited for the rest of the day, instantly became a vegetarian, and had to have psychiatric help. It's not known whether the organ was from a human. The case continues.
Well, it can be found out, so that's one thing. Obviously, that doctors aren't confused. They're not going, I don't know, I've never seen one like it.
Yeah.
Also, why is she eating goulash?
I know.
I mean, that's my first question. Why?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's that's your first question is. My first question is, whose penis was it? What do you mean? What? Let the lady eat whatever she wants. Who cares? But where did it come from? Who's missing one? And why cook it and serve it to a stranger? What? That's... Am I missing? That's like, okay. That's like an episode of, I don't know, Rick and Morty or Black Mirror or something that's just odd. But what? Also, I've heard goulash a million times in my life and I never knew it was that. Was basically pasta. It's like macaroni noodles and a bolognese sauce. I didn't know that's what it was. Honestly, doesn't look good.
First question. Why, you got your, lunch, what do you want? I fancy some goulash.
Yeah. Oh, some goulash.
Goulash,
Thanks very much
it.
indeed.
Lancashire cockpot
Oh,
is on the menu.
Brilliant.
Only £5.50.
Wangers and mash.
I'd love some wangers and mash, please. If you've got any knob-related puns, knob-food-related puns, then call XFM on 3426 14094.
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Call Chris Miles at radio1.xfm.co.uk.
Honestly, out of all four of those, I'm more shocked by super sluts. I absolutely adore these mistranslations from, especially like in menus and stuff, but nope, soup for sluts is probably the worst, at least for me.
You call Chris Miles at
The most
radio1.xfm.winginmank.
insulting one.
Yeah.
Cock-co-kay.
Cock o' van.
Cock o' van.
It's already done for
There's
you.
some, there's wangers and mash, cock o' van, Lancashire cockpot. You know.
That's just off the top of our brains.
Yeah.
So, if
So
you've got
if
any
you
of your
wanna-
own, keep them to yourself. We're not interested. What do you make of that, mob news?
And he's in a hospital.
I don't think so.
What?
Oh, yes, it was.
it-
No, hospital cleaner. You're right. Hospital
Oh,
cleaner.
God. I know how your mind's thinking already.
There's been a mix-up.
What kind of mix-up?
I love that. What, some bloke's gone in, some lesbian's gone in and wanted a sex change. She's got a carrot for a cock.
Bit of stew and steak.
Steak. Oh, that would be great. You're not a doctor, you butcher.
Those are so good.
It's not
dude.
funny.
There was some other news, whilst we're doing the knob news, just cram this one in. There was some story on some news website about some lad who wasn't happy with what
I'm sorry, but that's something you really don't want to hear when talking. Did the knob guy move? Oh my god. Sorry, that distracted me, but that's something you really don't want to hear when talking about knob news. Just try to cram one in.
just cram this one in. There was some story on some news website about some lad who wasn't happy with what he'd been given.
Right.
Okay.
What do you mean? He had an op.
No, he wanted to have an op.
He wasn't happy with what God had given him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the Lord had popped downstairs for
I
it.
didn't-
Sure.
And
Sorry, no, wait a minute. Was he a bloke who wanted it?
yeah, fella.
And what he
Wasn't happy with
wanted, he didn't want a knob, or he wanted a bigger knob.
Wanted a bigger one.
Right. Okay.
Better one.
Okay.
And cost $5,000.
Right.
that
They made a
cheap?
Oh.
mess of it.
Well, how do they make a mess of it?
Don't know. It came out smaller than they went in with.
Well, no. What do you mean?
I don't know all the ins and outs. It was,
Oh
it
God!
was, it's just
Well,
like
there's
he borrowed the money off
There's
his
been
mum.
a slight mix-up.
He borrowed the money off his mum.
I love that.
How bad is that?
What do you want for your birthday, son?
Yeah.
Interesting. Thanks, Mum, for asking.
A couple of bits of news as well. Hello, Doctor. How did it go? Well. Firstly, don't look under the bandages and don't have the goulash for lunch.
It was smaller than you went in
Mum,
with.
you got $5,000. Why? Just give me fucking up. Tell me what it's for.
You can have it if you tell me what it's for.
Well, look at that. Oh, you need a bigger one. Yeah, definitely. There's the money. On you go. Nothing can go wrong. What did he say to the doctor then? That's rubbish.
I didn't read all the ins and outs. I just, like I said, I saw it.
Just
and
look for the
thought,
picture.
They want a picture.
But you just thought, well, thanks for it. You just thought you'd pop that one in. Thanks.
Yeah, that's the end. Knob News Extra.
That
Play
was-
record, Carl.
Yeah.
So if you've got any knob news, we've got one more show left. Send that to ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk and we'll hopefully get that knob news on air next week.
Yeah. All right.
Some Dizzy Rascal.
Oh, Dizzy Rascal, yeah, he's one of the hot new English rappers. Let's play it.
Loosen Your Hold. South. That's great, and I love that one. On XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
Good
Carl,
choice for it, good choice
Carl,
for it.
cheers.
I don't know what it says about me, but I think it has to do with the energy of these three men talking about the different subjects, but I honestly prefer knob news to monkey news. Because monkey news has been so played out, and it's always the same, and it's so ridiculous, and it's so not believable and stuff. But there's like a change in vibe in knob news, and they seem to really enjoy it, and the stories are more diverse and more believable. And it also like turns them into little kids, or well, little boys, which is just funny because they make the stupidest little jokes, and there's this innocence there, this giddiness, and the giggling and snickering and stuff, and it's just a lot more entertaining than when Ricky is yelling, you know, that it's absolutely ludicrous, whatever the monkey news is, and shut up, and it's not real. And Carl's an idiot. You know what I mean? The dynamic is just a lot better in knob news, dude.
Yes, what are you thinking, Carl? What have you been doing this week?
What's been going on?
Yeah.
You'd be miserable because of the heat, obviously.
That's getting me down.
Yeah.
It's just the way people wander about as well with next to out on.
Yeah. I'm always amazed by the men. It's just a certain breed of man. Guys, sometimes it's kind of builders, mechanics, taxi drivers, van drivers, but not necessarily students, all sorts of guys. And you sort of watch them walking down the street. They'll be walking down the street, girls, you know, we'll see in their sort of summer gear, and it's literally, you know, eyes go, look at those legs, oh, knockers, oh, I can't believe my luck, oh, you know, and they're sort of talking to their mates, they're checking it, oh, it's an arse, I can't believe it, oh.
Yeah.
And it's like they sort of forget, there's like some kind of amnesia that sweeps over them during the winter
Like
months.
it's a surprise.
Yeah, and then it's like every time summer rolls around again and girls put on, they goes, I can't believe it, where have they been? They're back.
Yeah.
And they get so excited.
Excuse me, love, have you had tits under there all winter?
Exactly.
Well, yeah. Bloody hell.
I can't believe it. It's great to see them again.
Yeah.
And then it gets to sort of October and they go, where have they gone?
They just don't say anything. They just like get on with it. They're reminded.
They completely forget
Yeah.
for sort of half the year.
I just want to say something real quick because I read this once and it kind of stuck with me forever. Well, there's this obvious, you know, it's always the thing, this debate, the thing that's said, you know, if something bad happens to a woman or whatever, well, what were they wearing, you know? And there's this very common misconception of people, whatever gender, but that if a woman does dress with tiny clothes or revealing clothes or whatever you want to call it, they're just asking or begging to get looked at or catcalled or whatever. And obviously not the case. Sometimes, yeah, maybe, but not, you know, all the women that do that. But one time I read, and it just kind of clicked in my brain real quick, that it was true. And then I saw a lot of people talk about it, a lot of women talk about it, going like, oh my God, yes, totally. That if men did not exist at all, it was an all-female planet, I can assure you that almost all women or most women will dress a bajillion times sluttier, dude. And they don't because of men. So it's not for men, it's for us. Well, I say us because I'm a woman. I don't know, it's weird. I don't do the thing I'm talking about. I don't dress like that, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not for the male attention. Since male attention exists, women that like to dress like that have to tone it way down, dude. Because otherwise they get, you know, got at and all that. So, I thought that was very interesting because seeing it from that perspective, I was like, oh, snap, that is actually very, very true. I don't know, I just thought I'd share. Maybe open a few minds, just in case.
There was a fella this morning, I just nipped out having a cup of tea, reading the paper, reading that bit about nudists and that.
Sure.
Again,
And,
we're back.
Little old fella. Must have been 75.
Okay.
Walks past. Shoes, socks. Sort of shorts, but because he's old, I don't think he's got like a normal pair of shorts. So we're like suit pants, but short. So really smart shorts that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with him being old and thin,
Yeah.
it's just, Don't do that. Don't walk around like
What, the legs?
the legs and the back. You look like a little tortoise without your shell on. And everybody outside the cafe.
I've always wanted to see a tortoise without its shell on.
Yeah.
Just to see if it would run really fast and go, this is brilliant. Just scamper along.
I saw a grotesque thing. I think it's Britain's fattest man. I'm not sure. He was huge. I mean, I don't wish him any ill, but so big. It was ludicrous. He was waddling down Oxford Street, and he was, I mean, genuinely, you know, I'm not a big fan of, you know, ginormous people.
We know.
Rick Waller, for instance, turns my stomach. This guy was
love
twice
how
as
he
big.
put a name
He was
in there.
extraordinary, and he sat down on a big bench and literally took up the whole space. And he reached into his bag. He's having his lunch, and he was eating an apple.
That's a big...
His bag. He's having his lunch, and he was eating an apple. And I really felt like I wanted to slap him on the back and go, "It's a bit late for that, mate."
Well, it's probably starting now. He's probably starting thinking that I'm going to make a change. And imagine if you'd have said that,
Yeah,
and it'd have been awful, wouldn't it?
yeah. He cut it in half, put it between 2 slices of chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you get that
And waited
big.
for a pig to come past,
Yeah.
shoved it in his mouth,
Exactly.
just swallowed it whole.
I don't know
Oh.
how he gets that big. And it was like he'd come out to sort of soak up some of the sun. You know.
Well, you look better with a tan.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he wearing loose black clothes?
He was, of course. He was wearing
That
loose
works
black
up to a point.
clothes. Yeah.
And then, you know,
like
there's
vertical stripes instead of horizontal stripes. I can't remember what the names of the sisters are, but there's 2 sisters that became extremely famous because they were very, very, very heavy set. Like, very, very. And for some reason, they started, like, reappearing. This was, like, years ago that they were famous. They were, like, on some reality show. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But then, at least in my life, they disappeared for a very long time, and now they resurfaced. And they each lost like 300 pounds or something like that. Like they lost like the equivalent to a few people. And it's just amazing how different you can tell it's them because the face is the same and stuff. And they're still not small, but they lost so much weight. It's like genuinely impressive. So, I mean, honestly, if you see a larger person jogging or trying to exercise or trying to eat right or nah, that's not the attitude to have. The attitude is, yeah, you got this. Good job turning your life around. You know what I mean? Like, not, dude, it's too late. It's never too late! Unless you're dead. And if you're dead, you can't hear the negativity of somebody telling you it's too late. So, you know what I mean? You know? Bugger off. But I mean, it's always positive to see somebody trying to, you know, better themselves. Why not?
It's not fooling
Was
anyone.
it vertical stripes?
Yeah,
To make it look thinner.
Just people just walk past and think it's night.
Yeah.
That's So, Carl.
So yeah, so that's you know, that's been annoying me with the weather and that.
Yeah.
And then
I love the warm weather. Although I can't
Same.
sleep at night. I had 2 hours in front, just went and lay down in front of the window, in
Not
front of the
same.
French window, just because it was just too hot last night. But if I can sleep, I love hot weather. I love walking around when it's sunny. It's better for you. People are usually happier in hot weather. The sun is good for you. I mean, it has been hot. I mean, it's 100 degrees. It's probably too hot to work, but...
mental, I can't think straight and stuff.
You know your little
That's
baldy head, isn't it bad for it? Because it just... Doesn't it get you, make your brain a little bit hot?
Well, I mean, I'm just got my head on show. What about the nudists? Worry about them before you worry
That
about
was
me.
great. You know what?
Got my head on show.
That's awesome. You know what that particular one could have been as well? And to me, it sounded like the cards were great, but it sounded like those machines that count bills real quick that go. What are these laughs? Does he have like a cold or something? Because I've never heard him make these sounds.
What about the nudists? Worry about them before you worry about me. Right? But no, another thing that happened in the week. You know, I've just had builders round sorting the kitchen out. and
Yeah,
that.
Sure.
Did they steal
So
anything?
virtually skint. But another problem happens. Boiler starts playing up.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So and you've got to have a shower in this weather. You've got to be able to have a shower and that and freshen up and what have you.
Well, I have a shower every day anyway. I mean, 2 sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
you haven't got any hot water, you can't, can you? Right.
Cold shower's alright, isn't it?
If it's warm enough.
So anyway, fella comes round.
Yeah.
90 quid.
90 quid.
90 quid. All he did, turns up, says, oh, yeah. Just bang it.
90 quid.
Bang the boiler. That's what 90
You
quid.
do it.
Last time I banged a boiler, it cost me 90 quid.
And there was a lot of leakage then. So
I
I
understand where you're coming from.
yeah.
I do
Thank you
sympathise.
for that.
But do you know, like, I catch them out as well. Do you know, like, I know they're up to no good and stuff. They don't earn the money.
Sure.
And he was in the bathroom, so I sort of creep up and I try and stick my head round the door to see what he's up to.
When a bloke in the bathroom?
Right.
That's weird, isn't it? So you creep up to a man in the bathroom and put your head round without seeing you. Go on, though.
Fair enough.
Right, do you want to go over what happened that time when we were in the pub and I go to the toilet and you're trying to get in?
What happened?
Is that normal?
Go on, what happened? Go on, I'm not ashamed. What happened?
Not ashamed.
Go on. Say it. Say it.
What happened? Well, don't start a story and then don't finish it. Come
Or
on.
we'll do it later.
Tell us now.
He was in
Everything's
the
later.
cubicle, and he got in the cubicle to have a piss to avoid me annoying him, right? So what I did, I got some of that liquid soap, and I just put it over and squirted on him, and he came out going, look, it looks like someone's just effing jizzed on me. I've got effing jizz on me back.
I had to walk through Soho without me back.
I was walking through Soho, and when was it we had to go to the, when we went to the Ivy with those people? Wednesday.
Something like that, yeah.
We had a business meeting, right? And we were walking out the Ivy, it was about 11:30, and I was going down Old Compton Street, and as I got to just going past Mamma Mia, something hit me on the shoulder. I looked down, and obviously it was bird shit, but just for a split second, I thought it looked like jizz, and I just thought, oh God, because no. And I sort of woke up and I thought, right, I got to wash my hands and get in. It obviously wasn't jizz. It was pigeon shit or something, right? But I had this pamphlet once when I was at ULU. Terence Higgins Trust left this pamphlet, and it was all stuff like safe sex, and it was stuff like. Honestly, I swear, it said things like, you don't have to have full intercourse. It said you can do lots of other things with your lover, like... It said, like come into some fruit, e.g. a melon. It says, with friends, just come on the back of one of them, right? And then this is the bit that made me think, and I thought, oh my God, when I looked down sort of my shoulder, it says, come out of a window!
Yeah, on any passing celebrity.
Oh God! Oh, I'll get that pamphlet. If anyone's got that pamphlet, it was brilliant.
Doubt it.
So, yeah.
Good, right, well,
Wow, though. Like, that's on a pamphlet for, what, teenagers? That's terrible advice. What the hell? That's, It wasn't as funny, okay, but, ugh. Don't tell teenagers that that's okay. What the hell?
let's play a
Do you
record.
reckon Noel Edmonds did stuff like this on his show? He's back.
Oh, dear.
Smith and us on XFM 104.9. Before that, we had Spunky News.
Spunky news.
Coming up, Monkey News. That's the sort of linked. This is Dr. Fox is no better than this.
No.
He must see we're getting better now.
Yeah.
Have you got any other news there, Carl?
Well, you were just talking about bird muck.
What a classy show this is.
Forget about it.
Bit of it,
I imagine someone just having a barbecue, tuned into this.
Yeah. Can you turn the radio off? He's talking about coming out of windows again, darling. It's putting me off my sausages.
No, what? I was walking down the street and this pigeon, sparrow, whatever, did its thing, and it landed on my ear, and I was like, oh God. So I thought, well, I'm not going to wipe it off.
Why not?
Because I don't
Why
want to get
not?
it on my hands. Right? So I thought I'd leave it till I get home. So it's probably
So
about...
you went to work.
Gross. Dude, one time when I was like 7, a kid spit in my hair in the playground, okay? I still remember who it was and everything. I remember everything. I remember his name. I'm not going to say it, but still. I remember all of it. Kid spit in my hair. I had a ponytail. My hair has always been like fluffy and bushy, especially when I was a kid because my mom didn't know I had curls and you're not supposed to brush curls and she would brush my curls. And let me just tell you, when you brush curls, it goes... And it's just ridiculous. Like Hermione in the first Harry Potter, where it's just like the witchy hair. That was my hair for like a long time. And I had a ponytail, and it was just like in the back. And the guy spit. Okay, I was so grossed out by it. I couldn't touch it or wash it out or clean it out. So I stayed like that the whole day, and it was like a thick... So it stayed there the whole day, and I went home with that in my hair, and I had to tell like my mom, please help me wash this. I was so disgusted the whole day. Another story similar to this, much worse, as an adult. Somebody, this is a horrible story. Okay, so I work at a theater, and every once in a while will come. It's nighttime, so every once in a while somebody will come like that's really drunk or really high or whatever, because it's nighttime. It's entertainment, mainly drunk, and well, every once in a while somebody that's a little too drunk will vomit, and yeah. One time, a guy felt so bad, we were helping him out and stuff because he was, just incapacitated. And my brother was helping him out, and I was sitting on the stairs where they were coming out. And the guy was heading to the bathroom because he wasn't feeling well, and he didn't make it. And let me just tell you, it was projectile vomit, but it was more like explosive and splatter, like, outwards than forwards, so it just kind of out of him. So he vomited all over my brother, all over the stairs. I was sitting on the stairs. Obviously, a lot of it got on me. Horrible experience. And it was also, I'm sorry to, get into detail, but we're already here. It was that kind of vomit that has been sitting in the guy for a while, so it had that really strong acid smell, like that really strong puke. He didn't just eat and it came out almost the same way it went in. No. That had been digested. So that's like the worst kind of vomit smell ever. And like, what do you do? Like, obviously you wash everything you can find and just, it's horrible, and you're at work. It's a horrible experience. But later I realized luckily, it was like at the last hour of work, whatever, and we soon got to go home and stuff. And then when I was driving home, I realized I hadn't washed a bit of my hair well enough, and I had to drive home, like, smelling some guy's vomit in my hair, and I'm not gonna, no, because then it's just everywhere, like, on the steering. No, it was horrible. I had to drive home with that shit in my hair, and then obviously come home and like, take the longest shower of my life, but, oh, dude, not fun. So, I know what you mean, sir. I know what you mean.
I'll get home. So it's probably about...
So you went to work.
Oh, met some friends.
Yeah.
Not about midnight.
Went on the pool.
So I was best man. So after the speeches, that is brilliant.
No, it was on there for, I don't know, half an hour or something like that.
Brilliant.
Get home and get
Did it not kind of slowly ooze down your neck?
No, it's fairly hard.
Right.
And sort of corroded my ear.
What are you talking about?
Why did you leave it there, though? Why not just wipe it off with something? I couldn't walk round
Pop in a newsagent and buy some tissues.
But then I look stupid.
What? Where is the bird's muck on your ear?
Brilliant. They're all wearing that now.
But no, what is it they eat?
It's alkaline. No, it's really strongly alkaline, isn't it? Or is it acidic? I don't know. Maybe someone knows. Is bird muck acidic or alkaline? But it's corrosive, yeah.
Weird, isn't it? Weird.
Weird, isn't it?
It didn't
Not
seep
weird,
into your
gross.
brain.
Yeah.
Listen, do you want to do, set up songs of phrase?
Yeah.
Oh, God. If you've not heard the show before...
I thought we weren't doing this week.
I thought we weren't.
I thought we
we'll
weren't
do
either.
it once, right? And then next week's the last one, so we'll do Rockbusters. Leave
That
them
might
up.
be the last one ever, depending on whether Carl decides to come back
Yeah.
in October or not.
Exactly.
I'm bored of it. I told you I'm bored of it.
Why are you bored with it?
I get bored quick with stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I told Suzanne the other night how lucky she was. I haven't got rid of her yet.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He's been with Suzanne forever, so... I don't know if lucky's the word, but...
Do you know what I mean? Things...
You put on a soft music, though, first, didn't you? You didn't just, like, start getting that around
you
you know you're a very lucky girl. Sorry? Well, I usually get bored with you and that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
You're lucky you haven't pissed off.
Yeah. Do you want all the champagne or what?
Well, she was annoyed the other
Carl,
night.
what's that on your ear? Don't worry about it. Pigeon shit, aren't it?
We're walking to the pictures, right? To go and see Bruce Almighty.
Sure.
Why?
And, just
Why not?
something to say, innit?
Yeah. So you were trying to sneak in the back.
So, on the way, cutting across Leicester Square, and those fellas who sell roses, he comes over, do you want one? Do you want one? I said, don't do that, she's allergic to them. Right, so he'd go away.
Is she really?
She got all annoyed about that.
Because she's not allergic to them.
Well, she's not allergic now, but they're about £3 each.
You're allergic to that money.
But
The point of that, Carl, is not that she really wants a rose, it's that you're willing to spend £3 on her.
Taking us to the pictures.
How much was that?
I just want to say that from, I guess, a girlfriend perspective or a wife perspective or a woman's perspective, I personally do not like that. That if somebody comes and puts a flower in our faces and you're like, okay, yeah, give me one, that flower is meaningless. That doesn't work. Flowers are only good when it's like a surprise. Flowers are not good for I'm sorry, I messed up, or, you know, if flowers are the best peak niceness of a flower gesture is when it's just because. I thought of you, I know you like flowers, here you go. But if I'm with you when you buy them, and you're only buying them because somebody shoved it in your face and gave you the idea, yeah, that flower is useless. Honestly, personally, I don't care. But you know what I mean? It's just like it's the thought that counts. Blah blah blah. It's not so much the flowers. It's the I got you them because I know you like them and I thought of you. It's that more than the flower or the £3 or whatever. Just FYI, just a PSA kind of thing.
That was £8 each. Did you pay for it though?
But didn't you ever... If I know you had her dressed up as a small child.
yeah.
Me and my son,
I was
please.
scared.
Or you
for a
made her
second.
sit on your shoulders and wear a long coat.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, listen, songs of phrase then.
You paid for her to go in and then you went and had a pint while she watched it.
Yeah, there's no point in both of us seeing it, but tell me about
Tell
it,
me what
won't
it's
you?
like.
Oh, right, songs of phrase.
So let's explain what songs of phrase is.
You do it.
Okay. Oh, really? If you think that Carl is bored with life, then you will be even more bored once you have heard this particular quiz. The gist of it is that Carl has taken a well-known phrase
Well,
or saying
no, I'll stop you there. Not a well-known phrase. Something that he said once.
on this show,
One.
Yeah, probably.
and he's
Yeah,
somehow
probably.
compiled together a number of different songs which have somehow built up that particular phrase or sentence.
If it's anything about Chinese people, Philip Bailey will be involved. That's all I can say.
Okay, let's hear it then, Carl.
Right?
All right, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that
What?
was. This is a...
I gathered like Galileo, please talk to me about science because of television or something like that. Like what?
appalling.
I don't know
This is
what that
appalling.
is. Carl, I do not know what that is. What is the phrase?
I just was saying last week about everyone's raving about Galileo.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
raving about Galileo.
No, they're not. No,
That sounds
they're
like
not.
a sort of B-side from
Yeah.
the Buggles.
Everyone's raving about Beyonce and Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
They're not. People going.
Pop
what,
Idol.
What are you into? Galileo's good. Yeah.
Forget it.
No.
Forget it.
Placebo.
Did they really
Song for
forget
Carl
it?
there.
Oh wow.
That's Special Needs on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me,
Is
Steve
that a jab
Merchant.
to Carl?
Carl Pilkington.
We were doing songs of phrase.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh god. So what is this phrase? What is the phrase, Carl?
Last week we were talking about Galileo,
Right.
Okay.
and I just was saying years ago, I can't remember now, when was it? When was he doing this
Ages
thing?
ago.
End of the 16th century, I think.
Right, and he was messing about trying to find out about speed of light or something, is it?
No, he did lots of stuff, Galileo.
All I was saying is,
Gravity,
back then,
yeah,
surely
yeah.
everyone was saying, stop messing with that, make us a telly. You know what I mean? There was other things that people would have been happier with.
Sure.
Back then. Like they,
Yeah.
like they didn't
So
have.
the phrase exactly is what? The well-known phrase is what?
Galileo, Well, it goes like this, doesn't it? Right.
So it's Galileo's Stop
Talking to me about
Talking About
Science.
Science. Make me television.
Make me television.
Yeah. So you email in with the bands and that.
This is terrible.
Brilliant.
Right, let's
That is rock bottom.
That is rock
I mean,
bottom.
the well-known phrase being Galileo, stop talking to me about science, make me television. As a well-known phrase, is one of the weirdest things I've... Forget jizz out of windows and things like that. That is the weirdest thing I've heard on radio as a competition.
Can we have that one next week? Okay, well here are the prizes. If you think, Rick, if you think the quiz has hit rock bottom, wait till I tell you these prizes.
No, brilliant.
I know that we're very much pushing new music on XFM, and it's an alternative music station, so you'll be pleased that we're giving away now, that's what I call Music 55, featuring the likes of Busted and Daniel Bedingfield.
Brilliant.
You really know how to cater to our audience, don't you? The best dance album in the world, that includes DJ Sammy, Scooter, and Liberty X on there. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
This is not so bad. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, a live DVD of a, pardon me, a performance at some, pardon me again, but anyway. That basically sums up the prizes. So I won't tell you the rest, they're all monotonous. But anyway, I think those crisps, Rick, have gone down the wrong way. Although I was eating goulash earlier. Sorry. I'm fine. So anyway, yeah, that's some of the prizes. And you can win some tat.
So,
if you can identify these artists.
The well-known phrase, Galileo, stop talking to me about science, make me television.
Okay, Galileo is
Falling.
But easy this week, I think. Those, yeah.
Queen, Bohemian
Play a
Rhapsody.
record, Carl. I mean,
know
it's
the
ridiculous.
science song and I know
Ricky.Gervais
television
at
song.
xfm.co.uk.
Remember the name.
The Pixies on XFM 104.9 Holiday Song.
You're talking about people coming round and just banging the boiler and charging 90 quid. I think it was last Christmas. We had a dripping tap, right? And it started off just dripping a little bit. And then after a couple, I thought, we'd get that sorted out. We couldn't actually turn the tap. It was just solid where the washer had gone. And then over Christmas, like before Christmas, it just started flowing. It was just like on, and I was thinking, this is terrible. It was terrible waste. It was the hot tap, and of course the caretaker gone away. Everything had been closed down, so I called out an emergency plumber. Christmas, right? He couldn't get it. Just turn the tap off, right? So he was trying, and in the end he said, well, what I could do is I could just squash the pipe. Right, cut the pipe, squash it, and then you could change the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, whatever, right, because I can't have this, I guess. So, he said, I've got to go to the van, and he got this tool, came up to squash the pipe. He was only a young lad, right? Wasn't strong enough. So I had to help him squash the pipe.
Right.
He squashed the pipe, cut it, put a little nozzle on it, just to seal it, right? And I was 180 quid.
180 quid?
And I want to say, surely that's half mine.
Yeah.
I helped it, and I was sort of being sarcastic. When Johnny was there, I was going, how much was that tool? He went, it was only about 9 quid. I went, pays for itself, innit?
Yeah.
I was going, could I get one of them? He was going, yeah, get them anywhere. Obviously, didn't it? And then he went, I wrote a cheque for 180 quid, and he went, oh, I didn't charge you for the nozzle on the end. I went, no. He went, I said, how much is that then? He said, £2.50. So I can leave you cash for that. £2.50. £182.50.
So he hadn't even really sorted the problem out.
But what can you do? What can you do? He wasn't ripping me off. That's the prices.
Yeah.
He's not going to go, I'll tell you what, mate, because you helped me, call it quits.
Yeah.
Just buy me lunch. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
My mate was locked out of his flat once, and he went out and shut the door behind him, and that was it. And he looked through a letterbox, and he could see his keys, right? Phoned a locksmith, says, look, can you come round? I can see my keys, right? It's just have to go out. And he went, well, yeah, but that doesn't matter. He said, I'm going to try it. It's 90 quid. And he went, 90 quid? He went, but I can see the keys. He went, yeah, I can get them for you. And he went, and my mate said, you're going to come round, you're going to charge me 90 quid, and you're going to scoop my keys up with a bent coat hanger. And the locksmith said, have you got a bent coat hanger, mate?
It's brilliant. But it's a fair point, isn't it? It
Do you
is
know
a
what I
valid
mean?
point, that's it.
You're making
And
somebody
what
spend
can
gas
you
and
do?
time
Yeah.
to go there.
I'd have gone, thanks for the expert advice, and then asked a neighbour for a bent coat hanger.
And they went, well, we'll call it 100 quid.
Yeah,
But that's more expensive than a locksmith. Well, yeah, because you're going to illegal traders.
exactly. We've got no licence.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go.
We've got to pay a little bit more in case we get fined.
Exactly.
But that's what was going on when, you know, the fellow was round the other day fixing the boiler in the bathroom. Just wanted to make sure that he was working on it, because it all went quiet in there. He had the door shut. I'm trying to have a little quick sort of peep, seeing if he's doing anything. And I push the door. And
The
it's
way
like,
this sounds.
but just pushing the door slowly, and he's going, "Don't come in." He's like, "What are you doing?"
Well, what was he doing?
Don't know. But then he's like, 3 down. Probably doing a crossword again. That's what annoys me. The way that, you know, it's all secret. You're not coming in, and you hear the odd bang now and again. He's probably sat there, crossword, 3 down, giving it the old just now and again.
With his foot. Just kick
Just annoying.
Yeah.
How much
annoying.
did he charge you? 90 quid?
It's just under 90 quid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all he said was, you know, give it a bang. If you don't work again, give it a bang.
What does that mean?
Thanks
Is
a
that
lot.
an air block? And they just like, what is it?
I don't know.
It's not that complicated. You wouldn't think a boiler's that complicated. It's not like understanding, you know, how a fast breeder works or a computer.
what?
It's a big lump of metal without water in it. How can we not know how that...
Yeah.
We were discussing yesterday, me and Glenn were trying to work out how a fridge works.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Magic?
It is the magic comes down
Okay.
the electricals into
Magic.
the frozen peas.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't still. I know it's something to do with the hydrofluorocarbons can exist at much lower temperatures without freezing. So when they enter the fridge, sort of under pressure, as they flow round, because the pressure goes down, they take energy from the play
It's
records.
perhaps a
is
discussion to have in
amazing
the car, but
radio.
not on the air.
Play record
I still
club.
can't figure out. I've never quite understood how a plane stays in the air. It always unnerves me when I'm in a plane.
Turning a tap on, getting water.
How basic are we going to go? Carl goes walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a bit of science for you,
Go on.
right?
What?
Read the other day,
Yeah.
if you dug a big hole, right,
Oh, God.
started digging, say in wherever, the Trafalgar Square, right?
Yeah.
You dig a big hole and you keep digging,
Yeah.
and you go right through the earth,
Right.
out to the other side.
Yeah.
So you're somewhere in Australia or something, right?
Yeah.
And then you come back to London,
Right.
stand next to the hole, jump in it. Apparently, you can jump through the world in 42 minutes.
It's interesting.
But then I was thinking, will you fall? And then when you come out the other end, would you fall back again?
Well, yeah, you would, wouldn't you? What would happen is you'd accelerate 10 metres per second to the centre of the Earth,
And you
but
start
you'd have,
slowing down.
but you know, you'd have such inertia, you'd nearly go as far out the other end before it was like a bungee jump. So you'd nearly get as far as the other end, and then you'd go back again, and you'd keep going until back and forth, getting further and further away from making it until you went sort of back and forth in the centre, and then you'd stay still in the centre.
Have you drilled a hole through the earth? Get in touch. Email xfm.co.uk and just let us know how you got on. Did you get to the other side? Did you get to Australia? Did you buy one of those funny cork hats? Did you see Paul Hogan?
How does a fish work?
That's a good question.
Darkness growing on me. XFM 104.
The other day I was watching Taskmaster, and one of the contestants, he didn't even realize what he was saying because he repeated it a bunch of times, and obviously Alex Horn was making fun of him in a very subtle but very real way. And he was asking, how much does water weigh? And he was like, the water you guys are going to use, how much does it weigh? And he wasn't getting how stupid the question was. And Alex was like, well, we're using standard water. Oh, that scene was so great.
0.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington. I lost him, didn't I, in a little conversation
Yeah,
there?
you were talking
Little
about
bit,
quantum
little bit.
physics, to be fair.
Yeah, I was just explaining what a black hole was, because we were talking about that as well last night. And just halfway through, he just went, yeah.
And put his headphones on.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
dear.
the thing about Carl is he speaks with such authority about things that he thinks he knows about.
Monkeys.
And when you try to explain to him about stuff, he goes, no, of course ghosts exist. And you try to explain to him why it's conceivable they don't. No. He can't be bothered with that.
Yeah, you did all your learning at about 12, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'm still picking bits up now.
Said without irony.
I'm sorry, but I feel
Said
good.
without irony.
That's what I heard.
What have you learned recently? Anything interesting recently you've learned?
Darwin, that's why I was asking you about him.
Right.
Yeah, Darwin. We know what you did, didn't you?
I don't know what he did. I just read the other day that they've got a treatment for whatever illness he had. I thought it was a bit late. Can you imagine that, saying that to his family?
What did Darwin do? I
don't know. You were just trying to explain it to me. But I'm
so
busy doing
good.
stuff, aren't I? I can't take it all in whilst I'm sorting the ads out, putting CDs in. You know what I mean?
he-
Ticking off the knob news.
No, but he formulated a theory of evolution based on natural selection. Yeah, but wait, though. Do you think that's good? Do you think that's well done? You're impressed with that? Because you're not impressed with things like...
Anything.
You famously said Newton, so it said gravity, but it was already there. If we'd have been floating around, it'd been a problem. We weren't, so keep out of it. That's what you said. You said Einstein. I've never used EMC squared in my life, but the bloke who invented the video recorder, I watch one a week. So I wonder if you're impressed by Darwin formulating, I think, the most important scientific theory
I
since
doubt he is.
Newton's laws.
Has it made a difference? Or whatever he said, would it have happened anyway?
You can't do that. You're not allowed to say that. You can't say, oh, well done, I'd have found it eventually anyway. You can't do that. You've got to give people their due. Do you know what I mean?
But now it's difficult to find stuff because there's less to find out
been
now.
found.
It's not a competition.
Everything
on what
has been
scale?
invented?
On what scale are you looking at? Why do you mean there's less to find out?
Well, now, I mean, they're bringing stuff out that... Do you know what I mean? It's
No.
The
just...
iPod.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
Didn't see the point in that on the iPod. Do you know, he actually listed the 3 songs he'd ever want to carry around with him. I can't remember what they were.
What are the 3
What was
songs
it?
you'd put on
Killing
your
a
iPod?
Georgie.
Killing Georgie, yeah.
Yeah, what else?
Probably have Elvis in the Ghetto,
Right.
Yeah.
Moving.
Living in the City, Stevie
Do you know
Wonder.
what I like? Do you know why that? Because that's like a little film to him.
Yeah.
That's 3 songs where there's a little story. He knows the ending.
Yeah.
But it's someone singing it to him. A little...
Just put them on it. How many songs can it hold?
Well,
7,500.
7,500.
Put that on 7,500 times.
Sure.
Well, you don't need to, do you? I mean, that is like that joke. The wish. Imagine putting on 7,500. You know that joke about you got 3 wishes. It says a never-ending bottle of Guinness. And he goes, second wish, you're going to have 2 more of these.
Yeah.
You don't need to put them on 7,500 times, do you?
No, you don't have to.
Never mind, Carl. Never mind.
No.
Answers rushing in, we should point out, for the quiz. Most of them agreeing that it's pointless. Some people have called it... It's songs of phrase, of course. Some people have referring to it now as songs of
Was that
arse.
James Franco?
Some people have called it... It's songs of phrase, of course.
I don't know who that is.
Some people have referring to it now as songs
Not
of
James
arse. Which is more than appropriate. But you'll be pleased to know that it's ending this week, and next week we've got the return of the even more pitiful Rockbusters.
For the last one.
That's back for the last one. We'd perhaps also need your petitions to Carl. If you want us to stay on the air, then you need to petition Carl, giving good reasons why he should stay, why this show isn't boring, or rather why he shouldn't be bored by it. I mean, you're bound to be bored as listeners, but obviously he's running out of steam now.
What are you fed up with? You're just fed up with, in general, are you? I mean, you want your Saturdays back, do you?
Just want a bit of a life back, that's all.
But you don't do anything with your life when you've got
Why
it.
don't you do this
How do
instead
you
of, like,
know?
your day job?
Can't. It's more important than my day job, innit? That's what earns the company money and that. Know what I mean?
No.
Well,
So...
why don't you do a regular show then? Sack someone who's, you know, quite frankly,
don't
not
want to
putting their
been there,
weight.
done that. I did that years ago.
What do you
Done it,
mean?
Done it. Told you, I've done a lot of stuff. Boxing, done. Tick. Dancing, done.
No, you turned up, the place was shut.
Yeah, but...
Dancing? When did you do dancing?
That's when he went and said, I want to do dancing, and he went along to the place, and it was shut, and that was it. And he said, I didn't do it anymore. That's not doing it, is it?
No.
Boxing, he had a fight with one lad, then the lad beat him up, and he didn't go again.
Oh dear, it's pathetic. Well, anyway, yeah, so this is basically our penultimate show. Next week's the final, and we're all looking forward to that enormously.
Yeah.
But that may be it forever then, and this, you know, all for one,
It's
all,
nice
you know,
to
one
know
for
it's
all for
not.
one. The Three Musketeers, gone forever.
Yeah.
I, for one, will be pleased.
Oh, I have to get some of these taped because I like coming in and sort of, you know.
Incidentally,
playing
Rick,
it.
don't be afraid to nick as many CDs as you see fit on that last show.
People have already nicked them.
No, I know, but
I
just
mean-
take whatever you want.
That 4 Non-Blondes is still there, isn't
I
it?
think it's still there.
Because I don't want that to be nicked.
Yeah. And I got a feeling, because I don't think there's any Smiths in the library, but there's quite a lot of Gina G.
Really?
No idea.
What? What was that sigh
They're
for?
just going to talk about what they're going to steal.
Nothing.
What?
Ooh.
Play a
Do you
record. Monkey News is on the way, plus the
This
results.
isn't radio. You've got to keep talking or playing music.
Play some music?
Yeah.
What's
Heart
up
of
with
Gold
Ricky's laugh today,
By Neil
dude?
Young on XFM 104.9.
Ridiculous.
Pop Idol, of course, begins this evening. I know you're looking forward to it, Rick.
Yeah, love it,
It's
love
always
it.
a joy, isn't it? Especially those early rounds with the
The
dibs.
mentors. Yeah.
Yeah, they are always extraordinary. That's the only reason I watch. I mean, I can't be bothered with the later contest. It's just watching the freaks for the first couple of weeks. It's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I sort of like
Okay.
watching the judges. They're good as well.
Oh, the judges are good, yeah.
I like
yeah.
the fact they've got their little shtick, you know, the special jokes they've obviously written, just waiting to get them in.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
great.
But
I like when Pete Waterman cries as well.
does he cry?
Sometimes, if he's moved by it. He's better than bloody Bobby Daddon. Like it, yeah. Rosie
No idea
Ribbon made him
who
cry.
they're talking about.
He just wells up and then like that. That's good. I like that.
He talks a lot of old arse, doesn't he, Pete Waterman?
I sort of quite like him.
Oh,
though.
I don't know. I find him irritating.
Well,
It's
You
like he
find
genuinely
everybody
thinks he's up there with
irritating.
Lennon and McCartney. That's one of the great kind of pop Svengalis of his time.
yeah.
And I don't know. You wrote songs for Sunita.
Well,
Don't be
yeah.
that proud.
Let's not knock him. There's Foxes on there.
True. No. Dr. Fox is a genius. And obviously, he can step in if there's any medical emergencies. Rick Waller, you'll be pleased. Now, obviously, as you know, I'm a huge Rick Waller fan.
Are you?
Not only has he got a great singing voice, but he really is a picture, isn't he? No, I know it's a bit harsh. I've said it before, but he does make me a little sick to the stomach when I look at Rick Waller.
That's a lie.
And to be honest with you, it's his own fault. He went in Celebrity Fit Club. He had a chance to sort things out, and his attitude was wrong, and he didn't trim down. And he's, for want of a better phrase, a bloater, and slightly grotesque. But he's in the paper this week saying that it was all because of his image. He didn't fit the stereotype of what pop stars should look like, blah, 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 blah.
Well-
He's disgruntled by this. He's got a great singing voice.
Well, he
and-
has got a great singing voice.
But the point is this, Rick, since the days of Elvis, since the days of Bing Crosby...
He's not
you're
as
a
fat as Elvis.
No, but you're a star because you have to have the whole package. The voice,
Yeah,
the
it's-
sex appeal, everything. We know
Yeah.
how it works. Kids buy it. It's pop music. That's what pop music is. You know,
Right.
if you want to be a big fat bloater, you've got to at least be as good as Barry White. He isn't.
Or Pavarotti.
Or Pavarotti. And so anyway, he set up an organisation. He's already got a band. He's got
So
a band.
you're saying, get over it. The world should revolve around looks.
Well, no, I'm saying pop music. That's what pop music is. I mean, this kind of obsession with he should get a chance.
But
you
not
know?
on record.
No, I know, but be a
He
session
might-
backer, be a backing singer. The point is,
Yeah.
this kid wants to be a star. He wants to be a star, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's the point. He doesn't want to sing and make a couple of records. He just wants to be a star. He wants to be a
I'd
celebrity.
have thought that's the real rub, that actually he's not being truthful with himself.
Yes.
He doesn't just want to make beautiful music and sing well. He wants to be, carried round on a sedan chair and adored.
Imagine that.
I know,
Imagine the
he'd
number
have to
of
have a
people.
lot of money to pay for the entourage that can carry
Yeah,
him.
the
I
4
know.
elephants needed. But he's got a company now. He set it up with his dad. It's a management company. It's called Star Search, and basically he's hoping
Wow.
to break the fickle industry, expectations. And so, if you're a bit of grotesque, if you're a freak of some kind, if you're someone that Carl, would be impressed by or, alarmed by, then you can
Fascinated
get in
by.
touch with Rick, and he can put you in there. Women with beards. Little midget fellas, whatever it does not fit the usual norm.
Should we cut along?
I'm thinking the three of us next week. We won't
dear.
have much to do after next week. Ricky's got a bit of a singing voice on him. I'm learning to play "Blowing in the Wind" on the keyboard by Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can master that. I don't know what you can do.
You can,
Oh,
dance. You can dance, can't you? You know that. You've done it. You've done
Tambourine.
dancing, so
Exactly.
it's like,
Little Donkey. We'll have a hit at Christmas.
Perfect.
I'm good at that.
What were you meant to be playing when you did Little Donkey in the play?
Drums to We Three Kings.
But you
We've-
just
we've
busted
done
it
that,
live, didn't you?
we've done
on
that.
the
We're just
donkey?
talking about looks and stuff, right?
Always.
Okay.
Because, it sort of cheeky freak of the week, we did that and I stopped doing it.
Sure.
Yes.
It was upsetting a few people. There was a thing on the website the other day about Elephant Man,
Yeah.
right? Just keeping up to up on the news what's going on there. And they did
Drunky news.
They did a thing about him and what he'd look like if his head wasn't messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they made a little picture for him.
Was he quite good looking?
Not bad looking, but you can't use it. It's not like you can't put it on a passport.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that he's been dead for several years.
Yeah.
No, but they also do that sort of thing for people who are alive. They say, this is what you look like. So you can't use it for that.
Yeah.
You can't use it on,
Isn't that, that's sort of like rubbing it in, though?
I was gonna say, that'd be heartbreaking, man. Like, I wouldn't want to know. I wouldn't know. That just, I feel like it'd make everything hurt so much worse. No, what is that? Why?
Isn't it,
It is a
really?
bit.
Yeah. Unless they said, good news, you were ugly anyway.
Yeah.
To be quite honest.
You wouldn't have pulled if you didn't look like an
Wouldn't
elephant.
change
If you were
at all.
symmetrical, you weren't a looker.
Oh my god.
You couldn't use it on a little dating agency picture. This is what I look like.
Yeah.
And
This,
they
is
turn
what,
up on the
this is
date.
what I would have looked like. And they phone up and go, I'm intrigued. What do you mean would have looked like? Well, I'll see you, as we said, 7 o'clock. How will I recognise you? I'll be eating buns.
Yeah, look for the giant cauliflower.
Yeah, in a coat.
Exactly.
They're
I love the
awful.
fact that you're keeping up to date with what the Elephant Man might have looked like.
Yeah, exactly.
That is amazing.
Carl's
That is
news is
awful.
largely what's happening in around 1880.
Yeah, or what might have happened
Exactly, yeah.
around 1880.
No, but it's sad though. Did you watch that thing in the week? That What Are You Staring At programme?
I didn't know. I couldn't face it. I know what you mean. It was about people who'd had unfortunate deformities. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and it was really sad. I suddenly felt bad about, some of the stuff we'd
Yeah.
talked about and what have you, because
Can I just say something, like, that's quite a nice thing to say. I was only about some of the things we talked about. Should we go over what we've discussed today?
what?
No.
What subjects have we brought up today? How can you feel sorry about things like that when we're still doing it?
No, I'm just saying, you have a laugh and that, but then you see a programme about it and you go, oh,
What, you realise they're real people you're talking about?
yeah.
When do you ever forget that?
Yeah,
When do you
real
ever
feelings.
forget that when you bring up these cheeky freaks of the
Oh,
week?
dude, there's this lady. I can't remember her name, but it's just because I can't remember anybody's name. But there's this lady that she was. The word that's coming to mind is crown, but crown is a horrible word for what I'm about to say. But it's not crown. It's like she was given the title. There you go, of ugliest woman in the world. And there was like this whole video on YouTube, or I think it was on YouTube, about her and just, her life and what she looks like and blah, blah, blah. And obviously all the comments, it's the internet, were absolutely atrocious and awful and blah, blah, blah. And then many, many, many years later, I saw an interview of that lady, and she talked about this experience that she found that video. And she went through every single comment. Yeah, those things where you just honestly can't really help yourself. Once you start, you can't stop. She went through every single comment just looking for one person that would, stick up for her or defend her or not make fun of her or just something. And through thousands and thousands of comments, she could not find one. And that just, it broke her heart and it broke her spirit. And it just, and then obviously she overcame it and she freaking kicked ass in life, right? But I mean, and she found that when she was really, I think she was like 15, 16, maybe 19, something like that. She was quite young. That's just devastating, dude. She didn't deserve that. What the hell is that? All of it is just awful. And, it's these morons are so quick to forget that they're people and they have feelings and hello, that's not okay, but whatever.
Or when we talk about Rick Waller, there's not a real person on the other end thinking about it.
Yeah, but sometimes it's hard because they don't look like real people.
Oh my god!
Don't slag off Rick Waller.
Oh my god!
That girl was on with a big head. It's like bow selector.
Oh my god, this is horrible.
We played some Dizzy Rascal earlier.
And that was wicked.
Exactly, and he's the new kind of
That was
the
the
kind of
worst
London
thing you
rap
could have said
sensation.
ever.
Well, let's not forget Credit to the Nation from 1994.
They're from
Teenage
Birmingham now,
sensation.
Steve.
Whatever happened to MC Fusion? He got a lot of bad press at the time. People didn't respect him, but I'm listening to that now. I think it was bloody brilliant.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked.
All right.
And
dude.
crucial, no?
Exactly, adverts.
Wow.
Kings
dude.
of Leon, Molly's Chambers on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, you're Stephen Merchant, and that little his little bald head a mank over there is Carl Pilkington.
Cockaliki soup?
Cockaliki soup is fine.
That was one from Nick. Thanks for that, Nick.
Yeah.
Ah.
Is it
I
monkey
was
news?
referring to the woman who chewed on a knob in a goulash.
Exactly.
People-
if you've just tuned in, you've missed that hilarious story.
Yeah. We still don't know why she was eating goulash. I've got a rash, look, come up my arm, look at that.
Brilliant. Fascinating. Thanks for that.
That's from rubbing his head, getting him an headlock. And have you got some on your hair? Because look at that, that's like a heat
What?
rash. What do you wash your hair with?
How much
Have
do
you still
you
got that
do
bird
that?
shit behind your ear? What is that? That's really worrying, isn't it?
Do you guys realize how much he must squeeze his head for him to have a rash? Like, what, on his arm? Like, here? Like, nah, dude. That's a lot.
It's like how, like, the body changes over many years of sort of certain things.
Yeah.
It's like your body changes to protect yourself from the sun and what have you.
Yeah.
My head just got used to being rubbed. It's
Yeah.
reacting now.
Oh, that's a defence mechanism. Right, I see.
All right.
Look at that, that's horrible.
Anyway,
Anyway.
You've got something on your hair, you know.
Monkey news?
I was going to say the winner.
I don't think anyone cares.
Oh, come on, someone got all of them, didn't
People
they?
participated.
Okay, play it again then. This was
All
Songs
of
of
them.
Phrase. We did this
The
earlier.
well-known phrase is Galileo, stop talking about science, make me television.
This is terrible.
The most convoluted, banal quiz on any radio station ever. I mean, I'm including Moyles, Chris Evans. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Simon Bates.
No.
That's worse than anything they ever did.
Yes.
Apparently, Channel 5 have bought the rights. Anyway, what were the
brilliant.
answers, Carl?
We had Queen in there,
Yippers.
Altered Images, Thomas Dolby,
Yeah.
Science.
Beatles, Aretha Franklin, and Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Well, extraordinarily, Tracy and John Burton from Colchester and Essex got all of those right. Why they would want the prizes, I've no idea, but good luck to them. They can enjoy those at some point. God bless. Okay, Monkey News?
Do you want a bit?
Yes, please. Play the
Jingle?
jingle.
This rash is weird. Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right, they were filming a documentary, right? This telly company
Yeah.
Okay.
doing a documentary.
Which one? Which one? Which one?
Don't know.
No, right, what was the documentary about?
About monkeys.
Yeah. Where was it? Where was it?
Africa.
This
Right,
is awesome.
when was this?
I haven't got a date.
Recently, though, since the advent of television, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, a bit of extra monkey news if you want it.
Okay, always.
Do you know the
Monkey News Extra. Go on.
I love that
you know
smudges
the
people's
Halfords
reviews.
ads?
Halford's ads? I don't think so, no. What happens?
Halfords, they've you know, they sell nuts and bolts and stuff.
Right.
They were using monkeys in the ads.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Packet.
Don't they sell bikes, Halfords?
Is that like
Well,
the whole...
mainly.
Bicycles and motorbike stuff in that.
What's happening?
So they're using monkeys in the advert. What happened?
I can't handle it.
What?
I can't do this. Look at
What?
him. Look at him.
I don't care what he's doing.
Well, basically, right, they've there was a load of hassle because they were using these monkeys in this Halfords advert.
Yes.
Right.
And what happened? Get to the point.
It turned out there wasn't a problem because they were mechanics in the first place.
Well, they were monkey mechanics.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Mental.
What are you talking about? That's not a
Right,
story.
anyway, listen, let's get back on
They were
to...
mechanics in the first place.
Right, where were we?
We would just start again. There's some people making a documentary. For what? Okay.
Making a documentary in a jungle and that.
Right.
Stumble across a little gang.
Okay,
What's
come on.
happening?
A little gang of monkeys.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
So the camera crew are there filming it.
Yes.
Everything's going normal.
It's all fun,
Nothing odd about it.
Okay. They're not running a restaurant. They've not got any barber shops. Nothing.
No.
Just regular monkeys going about their business. Yeah.
So anyway, what normally happens is the monkeys sleep with the partner.
I've never heard Carl laugh so much.
They don't sort of sleep around and that. Once they
Oh,
find
right,
once they
they're
find the
monkeys.
girlfriend or the boyfriend or whatever,
Yeah.
they stick with them, right?
Okay.
But anyway, they were watching this one, right? And it's going around a bit, sleeping around,
Oi, oi.
and it was getting fatter. They thought this is a bit odd,
Yeah.
right? So followed it round, and could see it having it away.
Making weird
Turns
sounds.
out, little prostitute.
Oh, God!
It's a little monkey prostitute.
And it was getting fatter because it was charging them bananas.
What a load of old rubbish.
It's charging them bananas!
That's the most extraordinary monkey news I've ever heard.
Oh! That is genius!
Has this documentary been televised?
I don't think it's been on yet.
How do you
And that's all the information you've got?
Yeah.
And is that's one banana for everything?
Now, half a banana is for...
Just oral.
A poor job.
Right.
If you want full-blown monkey sex, it is 2.5 bananas.
Sure.
So,
Let's just play a song.
let's just play...
All right, well, this is our penultimate show, so we're back next week. We're going to make it a barnstormer, I'm sure, lads. I want 100% behind it, 110% next week, all right? None of this giggling, none of this infantile giggling, like
Okay.
two schoolboys.
Right.
All right, we're going to come back, we're going to have some quality monkey news next week. We're going to have all
my
kinds
God.
of treats, I would have thought.
Okay.
Some great prizes. All right? Are we okay?
Yeah,
We all
best
behind
show.
that?
Let's make next week the best show ever.
Good luck. If you miss it, then you miss out.
Okay.
We're ending with a track from a couple of years back. I think it was 92, 93. Dinosaur Jr. Start Chopping. Play that. Start playing. Forget start chopping. Start playing.
Right?
Okay.
All right?
See you next week.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was the weirdest monkey news ever, dude. Damn. Okay, props to Podtunes. Was it Podtunes? I think it was Podtunes for animating that awesome work. Just it was one of the most bizarre stories to animate. Just like, okay, I love that. I don't think I've ever heard Carl laugh so freaking much. That was amazing. This episode was, honestly, it was a good one. I've evolved so much. I'd say grown, but I feel like my maturity kind of declined because I'm not someone that would have laughed at some of the things, some of the topics that came up, like knob news and all that. But now, freaking hilarious. Anyway, beautiful humans, I have to go. It's very late where I am. I have places to be. So thank you for everything, Rusty. Amazing work, dude. The little gifs, all the Ricky sounds are just so good. Thank you so much for these amazing work. I absolutely love them. One more to go, and then a couple weeks off. Don't know how long, and then we'll be back. So, lovely humans. Thank you for everything. See you soon. Toodles.